Hey, so I watched Felix Falex's video yesterday in regards to the new $500 minimum copy trade size that eToro has given us, that apparently still hasn't come into effect 3 days after they said it would. And there's something that he pointed out that I think I need to cover as well. I'll try and simplify it as much as I can. So let's get into it. What I would advise for the people that you're copying, go onto their trader profile. So for example, J Nemesis here. Previously, his minimum copy size was 300. Due to this new change, his new copy will be 600. So from watching the Felix Falex video, I do think that he tried to be as affordable as it could be. But something to do with, if he has his minimum as 1% size, apparently that's going to affect, the servers or whatever and cause crashes. So he has to stay at 0.5 or less. Apparently, from what Felix Falex says, that's what eToro has told him. So therefore, J Nemesis can't increase his trade size. He has to increase the amount. So there's two ways about this. Either the trader will increase their minimum trade size, and they'll mention this on their page. And that way you can pretty much keep the amount of money that you've got on them if it's under $500. Or they'll do it the other way around, whereas they'll keep their minimum trade size as it was, and they'll ask you if you can increase the funds or double the funds. So those are the two options. And obviously it will depend on the trader, whichever trader you're copying. So in this case with Jay, unfortunately, he cannot increase his trade size. So he's asking for people to go from 300 as the minimum to 600. So we're going to use this as an example. Let's say I'm copying Jay for $300, and he's asking me to increase to 600. Because that is the new minimum. What are my options? So option A, you can add funds. So if you currently have 300 on J and you want to go to 6, you can add another 300. Option A is adding 300 without copy open trades. This is the most affordable option out of the 3 options I'm going to give you, but it is not instant. It is not the most efficient, because that $300 that you're putting on without open trades copied, it will just sit there until he opens new trades and uses that money up. It depends how fast they trade, but you're basically doubling the amount of money that they can spend. So it depends how fast they spend it. So this option is not ideal, but if you're low on funds, then this would be an option to consider. Option B is add funds with copy open trades. Now for this one, don't get confused with the first one. It's not a case of adding 300 with copy open trades. No, because if you do that, basically, let me get this out there. Okay, this is something that I've discovered within the last month or 2 months. I know I'm very late to the party, but for some reason I just didn't acknowledge the mathematics involved in this step. So when you copy someone, you're copying someone, right? When you add funds with copy open trades, in fact, what you're doing is basically copying them again. So if their minimum was 300, like Jay, if you want to add funds with copy open trades, you can't add $100, which is the minimum, because it's not going to open all the trades. It's going to open $100 worth, a third of the trades, maybe. You'd have to treat it as a brand new copy. You have to make sure you're copying all the trades like you did the first time, because it basically duplicates everything they've done. If they've got one trade in Neo, and you've copied them and you've got a trade in Neo, if you add funds with copy open trades, you're going to have 2 trades in Neo, whereas they've got 1, because you're copying them again. So in this case, as J is the minimum 600, if you've already got 300 on him, if you add funds with copy open trades, you'll have to add 600, which will total $900 that you will now have on J. In my opinion, this is a more expensive option than option A, but it's a more instant and more efficient option, as you're copying everything straight away and all the money is there ready for J. Option C, which in my opinion is the better one out of the 3, it sort of takes the pros out of both the options of option A and option B, is to close and recopy. Now with J Nemesis, as my example, obviously you cannot close and recopy because he can no longer be copied. But obviously for anyone else that you're trading, if you close and recopy, you can copy with the 600 because that's, in this example, the new minimum. So it's less expensive than option B. Option B is $900. Option C is just close, reopen, 600. But obviously you'll lose any progress that you had for any compound interest to play effect. You'll be starting from the beginning again. But if you're low on funds, then this is an affordable option. As I said, I think this is the better option out of the 3. Yeah, that's unfortunately what you need to do whenever this change comes into play. I mean, so if we try and copy Hugo, put in the $1, and we click on the screen, it should come up with saying the minimum is $500, right? The minimum is $200. So it's been 3 days. It's the 28th now. This change was supposed to happen on the 25th, so I'm not sure what's happening. I think maybe they forgot. I mean, because if it was a case of, oh no, you can still copy with 200, but we're increasing the $1 to $2, then surely they would say that. They wouldn't say we're increasing the minimum to 500. Yeah. It's very misleading. It's very confusing. Where's a post from them saying that they're actually delayed 3 days? I mean, it's one thing to go down for 17 hours. And then the next day say, look, we're sorry, this happened. Also, we're going to be increasing these amounts. Fine. Well, it's not fine, but fine. It's been 3 days and it's still 200. You got all these people for this apparently temporary short-term fix of increasing to $500 for the copy. And people's reworking their portfolios, increasing the trade sizes, closing the small ones, making sure it's affordable for everyone. And it's still not even changed yet. But yeah, that's what you need to do. Maybe go back and pause the video on the screen where it's got A, B, and C options on the screen. Have a little think of what you need to do. Double check your traders on their feed. See what option they're giving, whether it's I'm keeping the same minimum trade size and you have to add money, or I'm going to increase my trade size and you can more or less copy with the same amount you had. As I said, that will depend on the trader, which of those 2 options they will do. This video really only applies to the ones where they're increasing the funds and keeping their minimum trade as it was. Okay? So that does it for this video. Thank you very much for watching and take care. Ciao.